Ladies and gentlemen, it is finally here. You guessed it, it's Battlefield 1 Incursions. So, we're coming in here, watching the video, we're like, oh, Milosh, what is this Incursions mode that they're releasing for Battlefield 1? Well, Mr. Random Viewer, it's fairly simple. Incursions is Battlefield 1 scaled on a competitive scale. It's 5 versus 5 class-based combat. Right now we only have one map. If you remember the first DLC for Battlefield 1, you had Giant Shadow, the map that was out. This is Giant Shadow Redux. We'll be seeing gameplay on. Right now you're probably looking at how the draft is going to be starting. You're wondering, oh, what are these icons? What did this do? Well, let's explain it very quickly. So, it's class-based 5 versus 5. What we played at Gamescom and what you're going to see in the gameplay is 5 different classes being played. There will be 3 more added in the alpha to be released soon. So you have your standard classes in Battlefield 1, basically every single Battlefield. But here you have subclasses. These subclasses are your kits. You have in the gameplay, basically from pretty much everybody that's putting things out, you're going to have a squad leader. This is your control leader kit. He has a sniper rifle. He's got flares, and his teammates can spawn on him, so he has the perk of being a squad leader only spawn, very similar to, for you guys that used to play a lot more BF2 back in the day, which is very good. I hope they add something different in the future. But other than that, we have the vehicle operator. Basically, you have a vehicle here, but worry not, my dear friend, because I know it's been, a very debated hot topic. Is the vehicle going to be OP? Well, depends. You're going to have to check out some more gameplay. That'll be coming out within the next 24 hours of an entire round, basically playing with a team in a tank, and you'll see how the coordination actually is what you need to be victorious. But we have the battle mechanic. He can either spawn a light tank or a truck. An FT-17 at the start will have very slow rate of fire, and we're going to get into how these things change during the match in just a bit. But it's your standard FT-17, but get too aggressive and you die very easily. Stay too far back and you're not really doing much for your team, that's for sure, because of how the map layout is. This is very much a 50-50 map, at least considered by us and the devs at the same time. And of course the light truck is very fast, but a lot more vulnerable. The weapon on it is actually devastating for infantry because it functions very similarly to how the gunner gun was for a Viper back in Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4. So a lot of splash damage that can be used by that to just take out infantry that are trying to get behind cover all the time. Other than that, you have your standard trench surgeon. Your medic can revive, can put down med bags. And basically, right now, the med bags had the form of a one of the sniper shields. Remember that from vanilla BF1? And you can sit behind it, be healed, and be able to use it. So this actually can work very well with our next class, which at the moment is kind of my favorite. It's a mortar support. Gets a couple of LMGs. The MG15 is my favorite among those two. And you have a mortar, you have ammo pouches. You can do a lot of damage with that bipod MG15. However, you're very exposed a lot of the time, and you suffer from a lot of inaccuracy if you try to move around too much. So positioning is going to be even more important for this class, because positioned correctly, you can shut down half of the map. But again, it comes down to map knowledge and how you're able to move around with your teammate. And of course, we can't forget everybody's favorite, the AT Assault. Now, right now, we only have AT Assault with anti-tank grenades, very similar to how you have the Assault in BF1 Vanilla. You can chuck them on the tank, and basically you can use this in coordination with your other teammates to take down the tank in less than 10 seconds, actually less than 5, if you play it correctly, using limpet charges as well, etc. There's so many ways to destroy the tank if it gets too aggressive. You'll get to see how exactly to play it and not to play it in the gameplay very soon, because there's so much that you can explain like this. But a lot of you have been watching right now and you're like, How do I know who's winning? How do I know who's losing? When I'm playing, how do I guess what's going on? Well, with your friend, it's actually very simple. If you ever played or watched tennis, it's a very similar way. It's a back and forth type of system. So it's Conquest Small. The map is very much designed to work around this kind of size. It's like Conquest Small Grand Bazaar, if you remember it from BF3. So for me, this is the perfect size. You have 3 flags, A, B, and C. Each team gets 2 spawn sites, basically one on each side of the river on this map, at least on Giant Shadow Redux. And it's very similar to Battle 4's squad obliteration system, where you did have 2 spawns. So you know, even if you get pushed back to your spawn, you still have another place to try and flank your opponents from. So it's very difficult to actually pin you down in the base. So from that, each team starts off the match after the draft, has 2 bases, has A and C that are already capped, and all of the fight is going to happen on B early on. You need to decide where to send your tank, you need to decide where you go with your infantry, and also there are some power positions around the map. You're going to be seeing them and immediately guess, you know, B house, cubby, hotel, etc. You're going to hear them from the callouts soon. But let's say you push in, you get a kill, and suddenly you look up top and you see that there's a yellow cranium. Well, that means that in the score, you have scored 1 ticket, and yellow means that you did the work. If it's in blue, it's your team, other players within your team that did the work. And this means that you just got 1 ticket towards getting a point. Very similar to tennis. To get 1 point in tennis, you have to fill out score. You go 15 and all the way to 40, and after that you're able to get your point. Well, here you have to fill 15 tickets, which are basically your quote-unquote squad actions. And those are earned through team play, basically. If you hold the majority of flags, so 2 out of the 3, then you get 2 points every 15 seconds. There's that ticker that's running around the timer in the middle. If you hold all 3 flags, well, that's 3 points every 15 seconds. Every kill is 1 ticket. Every vehicle kill is a bonus ticket, so you get 2 for killing the player. If you kill the player and the tank, then you can kill the 2. A side note here, if you're a tanker, your tank is tied to you, so if you die, it blows up. So nobody can steal your tank and nobody else can get into it. You're basically tied to it. 2 as 1. If you get a squad wipe, then not only do you get the 5 tickets, potentially even more, because you'll be getting around 7 for wiping everything plus the tank, but you also get 3 points for a squad wiping, as remember back in the BF4 days. So it's extremely important to coordinate your efforts to get a squad wipe. So this is how you score these points. You get up to 15, you get 1 total point. It's actually very simple to understand, because you'll look at it and be like, at least now I know that if I contribute and my entire team contributes, then we're actually pushing the game forward. It's not just about the kills, it's a lot more about coordination. Because of, you know, each kill is 1 point, that's not much. You get a squad wipe, you gain control of the flags. That's extremely important. So, an extra point to note here is that right now, it has been confirmed that the game is running on 120 Hz servers by default on PC, which is awesome. I'm pretty sure they can push it even beyond that, but 120 Hz as default on PC online is absolutely insane. I can't wait to see what it's... Well, I do know what it's like on LAN, and on LAN the hit registration is actually pretty darn sick. So we'll see how it actually turns out to be after the test that they had in BF4 for high refresh rate servers. Hopefully the issues that we had back then are indeed fixed, at least on LAN build they were. So there was a point that we talked about a few minutes ago, which is tanks or infantry evolving over the match. Well, it's very simple. There are 3 phases. That's how it's imagined within the game. 3 phases within the match. There's the early phase, mid game, and your late game. It's very similar to StarCraft or Company of Heroes. You played Wehrmacht, where you can go to escalate from skirmish to battle, etc. phase. Very similar here, because the longer you play and the more team actions that you do, basically just actions in general and points you get, then you get to unlock different tiers of abilities. There's a couple of examples, and you see this in the gameplay unlocking as we go, where the mortar support gets to drop a ammo bag when he deploys his mortar at level 2, and at level 3 he gains extra suppression with his LMG at level 3. The trench surgeon, so your medic, drops a smoke on when he cues on a down enemy to tell him, I'm coming in for the revive, and that's at level 2. Basically drops the smoke on him. The smoke is absolutely insane how big it is in BF1 nowadays, so it's a lot more cover if you want to go and res your teammate. But also, if you're at level 3 and you want to revive your teammate, well, you take less damage for a few seconds after reviving someone at that level, which means that as a frontline trench surgeon, you actually get to survive and do your job and be rewarded even more for it. I think in this mode, every single class has its own job. They even have specific grenades that are only used by specific classes, so you can't have everybody with light AT nades and then go spam the tank and take it down in 2 seconds. That doesn't happen that way. You need to coordinate. There are so many strategies that can be done around it. You'll see some of the strategies and the callouts that we use when we're playing in the next video tomorrow, so keep in tune for that. It's, you know, hey, it's your boy, subscribe and all that kind of stuff. But that's pretty much it. Incursions comes out soon. You'll be able to play it in alpha if you've registered on the site. If not, then myself and a few other people will be streaming it, and we'll be making content very soon around it on YouTube. And well, at least for me, it's going to be mostly on Twitch TV, so you can go check me out on my live stream at twitch.tv/MelchTheMedic. As soon as the alpha is out and it's available and I'm ready to play, then you're going to see me playing a crap ton of Battlefield 1 Incursions, because to be honest, I've been waiting for this for over 5 years, and over the time casting this, I can't wait to actually play it. So that is pretty much it for now. I'll see you guys soon. I can't believe I'm actually going to say this, but I'll see you in competitive 5 vs 5 Battlefield 1 Incursions soon. TM, solo queue, squad queue, whatever it is. I can't wait to play it, and I can't wait for you to either destroy me or play on my team, and we can maybe try to get a victory together. So, from me, from everyone that has actually been playing this and been believing in this for quite some time, big love, and we'll see you on the battlefield.